All right, everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Drill, a show where myself and Austin will preview each NFL team for the upcoming season. Just give our quick thoughts about each and kind of move through them pretty quickly. Since there's 32 teams, we want to be able to get to each. So without further ado, we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock, and we're going to get started in the AFC South with Austin's favorite team here, the Colts.
Those are my boys.
So quickly, I'll just go over the offseason moves that they've made so far. So they traded for DeForest Buckner. They gave up the 13th overall pick and then signed him to a huge extension. They signed Philip Rivers to be their new quarterback. They signed Xavier Rhodes at the cornerback
Yes, we
position.
did.
Yes, and then yeah, we'll have more thoughts on that. And then
Yeah.
you guys also re-signed Anthony Costanzo. So just give me like your overall thoughts quickly on the
All
offseason and
right.
how you felt.
So Anthony Costanzo, I feel like that's good.
Mhm.
I hope in the later picks in the draft they have two late six-round picks and they have a fourth and a fifth. They did lose the first with the DeForest Buckner pickup,
Mhm.
which is a little you wonder what could have been with that, but I think DeForest Buckner will get that value going
Yeah,
forward. And luckily with the Colts, money is not really an issue with how safe
the
we've been the
extension.
last 2 years. So having Philip Rivers at 25 million, it's like it sounds like a lot, but it's we have the money to do it.
It's also only
Um,
a 1 year deal, so you can
yeah,
walk away
exactly.
after
Him
a
and
year.
the Sheldon Day was only for 1 year also. So
Yeah.
when Sheldon Day signed, that was only a 1 year contract as well. So Anthony Costanzo, I like. I hope they do get more depth on their line in the draft because their line is good, but it's a little shallow.
It's like injury
Um,
prone. Like you're
yeah,
one or two moves away from being shallow.
if Braden Smith goes down or Costanzo goes down, the tackle situation is very rough.
Yeah.
Um, so I do like that re-signing, releasing Margus Hunt, which then eventually turned into DeForest Buckner getting picked up. I think that's
Huge.
great.
Yeah.
And the only move that like Phil Rivers, I'm indifferent about it. I think that he's a player that you're saying, okay, he's better than what we had with Brissett, but they didn't really love anybody else in the market, I guess. I don't really know what their thought as to the Brady or Winston or
So
Cam
that
Newton situation.
yeah, so that was like my biggest question mark was like Philip Rivers was kind of a very median quarterback, and when you looked at the market, I feel like there was bigger names I would have went for. Like I would have went for like Jameis Winston. I would have went for like
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
think Winston's
I'm
the
just not
big name,
I'm
but
just
I
not like
think
sold on Philip Rivers
I'm not
for the amount
either.
of money
But
they paid.
from watching enough of the Colts games the last 2 years,
He's going to be an improvement.
seeing yeah, he's an improvement, and Brissett threw us out of a lot of games early. We had to claw back a lot,
Yeah,
which I don't think Rivers will do. He just won't. The closing out is the tough part. Um,
choke
and then
artist.
moving forward, I think Xavier Rhodes. I think that's a massive pickup. I hate
Okay.
that we lost Pierre Desir to do it, but I love that we did it.
All right, this is kind of going to be like a point of contention. So I ranked like I broke it down into moves I liked, moves I was like lukewarm on, and then moves I disliked for them. So
Okay.
I liked Costanzo, I liked DeForest Buckner. I thought those are both solid. Like you needed both those guys. I was kind of
Yeah.
lukewarm on Philip Rivers because, like I said, I think like he can get you into the playoffs. I don't know if there's like a championship ceiling with him.
Yeah. I
Probably.
think
And they
it's
have like a championship ready roster right now. Like they could make
exactly.
the next step. But for me, releasing Pierre Desir and then signing Xavier Rhodes
Yeah.
was
It's
I don't think it makes any sense. So I got like a couple stats on Xavier Rhodes I want to throw out here really quick.
yeah.
So last season he allowed a 127.8 passer rating, which was fourth worst among all corners, an
That's tough sledding.
82% opponent completion percentage, which was the second highest among corners. And since he entered the league in 2013, he's been flagged 51 times for defensive pass interference or holding, which is most in the league.
And the
So for
Colts
me,
are pretty bad with their defensive penalties as well. That's a big area they've always been tough with lately.
and I just didn't get it because I always felt like Pierre Desir was a pretty solid corner for them, and I feel like
Yeah.
with Rhodes, they're more so paying for the name than like the on the field production the last few years.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a question mark. He's also like 30 years old, I believe. So
That's
what I saw was the Colts coaching staff has like a lot of faith in kind of rejuvenating his career because it's the same thing with Philip Rivers. It's
yeah.
guys they were familiar with in like previous places that they're bringing on now because there's familiarity with the system and whatnot.
Yeah.
So hopefully that familiarity with the system will help Rhodes in like getting him back because like 2015, 2016 he was a really good cornerback, but like I said, I think you're more so at this point paying
It's
for the name
2020
than
now, yeah.
yeah.
It's a different day.
Just to kind of finish this up real quick, I'd say. moves I wanted to see them make moving forward. I think they still need a wide receiver too. I was
Badly.
kind of disappointed that they didn't target Brashad Perriman or Robbie Anderson because they were both
Yes.
had for really cheap contracts. And T.Y. Hilton's entering his age 31 season. He's missed 8 games over the last 2 years. So like you need a reliable
He's
wide receiver too.
yeah.
Maybe they're gonna go for that in the draft, I guess, is like what I would think because
So
apparently it's a really deep wide receiver class.
that's
But
what I've heard as well. So I'm hoping that that's their second round target. Also, Taylor Gabriel's still out there too, under the age of 30. So I could see them. He's really one of the only wide receivers left that I think have much value. Um,
yeah, he's still more of like a depth guy for me though. He wouldn't
yeah,
become like a
no,
big
he's
play
not.
guy.
He's not a number two guy, but at least if he's out there, it looks a little better.
I guess to just sum it up overall, I'd probably give them a B minus for like off season grade. I've seen a lot of people actually like a lot higher. I've seen like a couple of A's given out. I think a lot of people are higher on like Philip Rivers than I am because like I said, I don't know
Yeah,
where if he has a championship ceiling that I think the Colts roster is like ready for. But I liked Anthony Costanzo. I liked DeForest Buckner. Lukewarm on Rivers, and we'll see with the cornerback situation.
yeah. I think if to give them a sure grade, I'd say probably in that B to B plus category. If they held on to Desir and still picked up Rhodes, I'd say they're probably in the A minus move.
Yeah.
But losing Desir, I was so upset when that happened. So that really knocks them down. I'm a little higher on Phil Rivers than you are, so that's where I'm more on the B plus side than B negative.
Mhm.
But they definitely they made improvements. They showed that they are ready to spend money to get wins.
Yeah, which
Um,
you want to see because the
yeah,
last couple of years they've kind of held out on spending their money, and now it seems like they're going all in. So
yeah,
it'll be an interesting year for them for
for
sure.
sure.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed. That was our little Colts preview. We'll come back with another AFC South team next time, maybe like the Titans. They've had a lot of moves this offseason. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and stay tuned for episode 2.
Till next time.
Peace.